Howdy. Just a quick one. I have been talking about this like earthquakes, making the water rise and stuff like this. And I mentioned this also in one video about bricklaying, why you have tapped to the brick after you laid it onto the cement, that the water rises to the surface, that it makes a connection. And I just stumbled across this video. I haven't watched it till the end, but I think it's very interesting. Let's have a look.
Now to the North Bay, where neighbors in Santa Rosa have noticed a strange side effect from last week's earthquake, a surge in water flowing right through a popular creek. Quad 4's Charles Clifford has the details.
Well, here in Santa Rosa, there are quite a few people who live along Mark West Creek, and many of them noticed after last week's earthquake that the water level in the creek had suddenly risen.
Boy, we were jolted. Both Susie and I were upstairs.
Last Tuesday, John McCauley and his wife Susie were at home here along Carriage Lane in Santa Rosa when a magnitude 4.4 earthquake struck not far away.
And everything shook in the house, and it opened drawers, it knocked pictures off of walls.
After the quake, John looked out the window and saw a wave of water rushing down nearby Mark West Creek. For months, the creek had been little more than a series of stagnant pools, but now the water had suddenly risen 4 to 6 inches.
We looked at it, and it looked like there was a wave of water coming down the stream.
Wow.
And it was as if you were at the seashore and you watch the wave break and the wave washes up on it, and each successive wave kind of washes up further and closer as the tide is coming in. That's what I would liken it to.
John says that he emailed and called the county and Sonoma Water and has been told that the most likely explanation for the surge is that the earthquake released some underground spring of water somewhere upstream. Thankfully, the water in the creek has leveled off. John and Susie lost their home a few years ago to the Tubbs fire, and Mark West Creek can sometimes flood, so they are grateful that this didn't turn into a problem.
Nice that it has, tapered off.
Now, John and Susie tell me that since the water level has come up, they've seen a surge in steelhead trout fry, little fish. They've also seen a couple of river otters down there playing in the water, and they've seen a fox family show up as well. But for now, in the North Bay, Charles Clifford, Cron 4 News.
So, this is in a way what I try to tell when I talk about mountain water, about the earthquakes, about the rising water. The water will rise within the earth. There's probably 1,000 times more water stored in the earth's crust than previously thought. Now we had the droughts, like in Europe. There were other places where they had droughts. So I still think, is there any possibility that these droughts, okay, there was hot weather and stuff. It was really hot. The sun was shining. The sun was reindeering. And I think in Germany there is now in some parts the wettest September ever recorded. So it's just something probably to keep in mind while watching quakes in mountainous areas where we have quakes. Probably there could be also water rising from the ground all of a sudden, and it can be quite much. And here we just probably witnessed an example of what I try to tell you about the water, mountain water. It doesn't have to be a mountain. I don't know. Can you call this a mountain here in the background? Maybe it is. They talk about the creek, so it's going uphill. Mountain, hill, or whatever. Cryptodomes, the places where water is pouring out of the ground. Many of those places are in mountainous regions. Hillsides and these kind of things. I just found this very interesting, so I shared it with you. Take care. Thanks. Bye.